Welcome to Blue Notes and Body Talk, where I don't just speak, where the truth slips through the cracks of conversations and the body remembers what the mind buried.
Welcome to Blue Notes and Body Talk. I'm Lady Blue. And before we dive in, I want you to know that this is a safe space. You don't have to be anything but you. No filter, no performances, just be you. Here, we don't chase perfection. We hold this space for truth. The kind of truth that might make you shift in your seat a little bit and breathe, just a little deeper. This is a judgment-free zone, a place where life doesn't have to make sense for it to be felt. And, this is just a space for you to be you and let it be real. And you don't even have to have it figured out at all. There will be moments where you will laugh and you reflect on some uncomfortable things. But that's okay. We're here to reflect because life can get a little bit messy. And we all know that life is chaotic. And sometimes life is unfair. But always be full of choices and be ready to learn and be ready to grow. We're going to talk about the real things, the kind that hits close to home. Stories from my life, lessons from my scars, conversations, that's going to stretch our soul. You may not agree with everything I say, and that's okay. We can agree to disagree. And also know that I'm not here to preach. I'm just here to share. And if something I say resonates with you, take it with you. Because it could be something that we can all learn from. It might be a thought, a tear, a truth that you've just been carrying around. Just take that with you and add it to your tool bag. I just want everyone to know that's watching me that this isn't just a podcast. It's a mirror. It could be a little corner. It can be a world where you can just feel and you can unpack and just start over again. So let's take a deep breath and exhale. So let me tell you about the lady behind the mic. Lady Blue has worn many hats. I'm a veteran, I'm a mother, a public servant. I've loved hard, I've lost deeply, and I had to rebuild. Even in my silence, more times than I can even count. I've accomplished a lot of things. I've accomplished things that I didn't even think that I could even accomplish. And I've seen things that I didn't even think I needed to see, but I saw them. Life has humbled me and shaped me and made me stretch in ways I didn't even ask for. But it also taught me how to feel and how to lead with softness without losing my strength, and how to stand tall even when I had shaky knees. I learned a lot along the way, and I'm still learning to this day. And just because I'm sitting behind this mic, it doesn't make me a guru or anything, or even a guide. I'm just a woman who decided to stop running from my truth and to start speaking it out loud. And I know I'm not the only one who may need to hear that. So this podcast was born because I needed space. I needed that space so that I could exhale. A place I didn't have. So let this podcast be a little bit for everybody. Let this podcast be for everyone to have that safe space. And I want to give everybody permission within this safe space to just be them and be their selves. So no, you won't find all the answers here, but what you will find are a lot of stories. You'll find questions. You might even find a few tears. And every now and then, if we're lucky, you might find a little bit of yourself within my voice, or even the guests that we may have. So now I want to tell you all a little bit of why I called it Blue Notes and Body Talk. The name for me, it came during a season where everything in my life, it was shifting. When I felt like I had outgrown what I used to be, but I haven't quite yet grown into what I was becoming. It was one of those, those in-betweens, where nothing made sense, but everything felt like it was necessary. So if you're not a fan of jazz, you may not know what a blue note is. But a blue note in jazz is a note that's a little off, but it's not quite what you expect. But the technicality of it, it's perfect. It's a part of the song that, it kind of makes it feel, it blends it together while breaking the rules. And somehow it tells the truth better than anything, any clear note, any polished note could sound. So that's how I see this life. That's how I see myself. I'm not here to play it straight. I'm not here to hit the notes that sound great. I'm here for freedom, joy, and, put that all wrapped up into one little pocket and just be me. Healing doesn't happen in harmony. It happens a little off key sometimes. Sometimes it's uncomfortable. Most of the time it is uncomfortable. It's a space that we'd rather skip past that part. But that's something we need. And these bodies, they talk. That's part that we don't say. And our body does things when we're uncomfortable. And when we hold that stress in, you can feel it in your stomach. You can feel it in your shoulders. You can feel it all over. So the body keeps the score. And baby, we all know that it does. And for a long time, I ignored mine. I pushed through the pain. I had a smile on my face when I should have probably been crying somewhere. But just remember, the body will remember what we don't want to say. It will remember those times that we try to hide stuff. So this space is about listening to what the soul is humming and what your body's trying to scream. And we're not saying it because we want to be so strong. We want to be so hard, and we don't want everybody to see what's going on with us. So Blue Notes and Body Talk, it's about honoring that feeling. It's about honoring that expression. Not just the pretty parts, but the truth. The truth that we've been holding back. The truth that we don't want to speak. The truth we don't want to come out. The stuff we're usually too scared to say out loud. So that's what we're going to do here. We're not just going to talk. We're not just going to listen. We're going to take notes. And underneath the surface, we're going to let it out. We're going to let our bodies speak. We're going to let our bodies speak to that silent part that we've been holding on for so long. So, welcome to the conversation. So since we're talking about truths, let's talk about my truth. So here's Lady Blue's truth. There's things that I've been carrying around that I never dared to say out loud. And it's not because I couldn't. It's not because I didn't want to. It was because I was taught not to. Growing up, I was told to keep my emotions in check. Don't let people see you cry. Don't let people know what's going on with you. And I think most of us probably been told that same thing before, once or twice in life. And I learned early on how to tuck my pain behind my smile, how to be strong even when I was falling apart, how to show up like nothing ever happened, and made everything seem like it was just okay, even when it wasn't. So to me, being strong became survival. And it's because, I think it's because, it became like my identity. And for a long time, I thought that was love. Protecting people from what was going on behind Lady's Blues feelings. Hiding it from within. Never letting anyone see my cracks. Not even seeing me crack. But silence doesn't save you. It can sit in your body. It can sit in your back. The tensions in the chest. Even in the back of your throat. There was a time when I thought healing meant getting over it. Now I know it means being with it. Sitting in a dark room with the pain now and not rushing to go turn on that light. Letting yourself feel, letting yourself be uncomfortable in that moment. Letting the tears come if they need to. Even when your pride tells you to hold them tears back. No, let it go. Let it flow. And listen, I was good at holding it back. And the sad part about it, I think I passed it on to my kids. I taught them how to be strong when I should have taught them how to feel. I didn't know then what I know now. That caring, that crying, it's not weakness. That vulnerability, it isn't a flaw. It's releasing. It's a doorway to being human. I had to learn to unlearn a lot of things. And like I said in the beginning, I am still unlearning even more. So here's one truth that Lady Blue, has been scared to speak out loud. Sometimes I wonder if being strong was just my way of surviving. A world that never asked if I was okay. That's real for me. And I'm not ashamed to say it anymore. And I'm not saying it for pity. I'm not saying it for performance. But because I know somebody else may need to hear that same truth too. So it's okay to cry. And it's okay to let your guard down a little bit. So just breathe and let it go. And it's okay not to even have it all together. You don't have to be the strong one all the time anymore. You just have to be real. And you have to be real with your truth and to yourself. That's what you got to be real with. So now I want to offer you this. What's one truth you've been afraid to speak out loud? Not because you can't say it, but because once it's spoken, it's out there. You've heard it for yourself, the universe and heard it. It's out. So I want you to take a moment and sit with yourself, or even journal it. If you got to whisper it to the night air, do that. If you got to sit in the corner and write it, do that. You don't owe anyone your story, especially your whole story. Not right now, not while we're in this process. But you do owe yourself the truth. And I'll tell you, when I finally answered that question for myself, it kind of hit different. It hit real different, especially when you're hearing it out loud. It shocked me a little bit. Because saying it out loud, it made me face it head on. And it showed me what I've been carrying for a long time. And it showed me how deep it truly ran. As a mother, I won't lie, it made me feel some type of way. It made me question my strength. and how I may have came off to my kids as cold. It made me reflect on how I taught my babies to cope and how I'm learning now to be better and do better by them. And what I also realized, I might need to be the only one that needs to hear this. You know, somebody else might be looking in the mirror in a moment and be like, damn, me too. And maybe you're that somebody. Maybe you're the one that needs to hear this. And maybe you can be the one to break that pattern, to soften up a little bit, to be strong in different ways. We're not here to beat ourselves up at all. That's not what we're going to be doing here on this podcast. We're here to unlearn together, to grow together, and to heal forward. So I ask you again, what's one truth that you've been afraid to speak out loud? Whatever it is, I see you and I honor it with you. And I'm holding space for you to answer that question right here with me. Moving on, what are we going to expect from Lady Blue with Blue Notes and Body Talk? Some episodes, it'll just be me, the mic, and you. I might even have a guest or two to keep the conversation, going a little lively. And so you will see some incredible people, some people that may have gone through things just like you. And they're going to be here to give their truth without any judgments, because of course, this is a judgment-free zone. These guests aren't coming to be perfect. They're coming to be real with you and me. And together we're going to unpack some heavy-hitting stories. And we're also going to let them speak from the heart. But I'm especially excited about a few of the episodes that we're going to be having. I'm excited about a few episodes, episode 2, episode 7, and episode 9. Episode 2, it is called Soft Doesn't Mean Silent. It features a guest who's gonna get deep with us. And I might have a male and a female, I don't know yet. But we're gonna be talking about the fears of softness and why we should let our guard down sometimes, and why it's okay to let our guard down sometimes. And also that softness doesn't mean weakness. It means wisdom. And this is just gonna challenge us with ourselves and even in our relationships. And you going on to episode 7, we're gonna call that one Ghost Notes. And baby, listen, this is one you don't wanna miss. This one we're gonna be talking about a lot of things, of those unspoken truths, those unspoken griefs, those unfinished goodbyes that are still lingering around. We're gonna have a guest or two again, don't know yet, but they're not gonna hold back on anything. It's gonna be tender, heavy, but necessary. And finally, episode 9. I know that one's gonna be probably a tough one for me, because it's gonna be a letter to myself. We're not gonna have no guest. It's just gonna be me, you. It's gonna be solo. And I'm gonna be writing a letter to maybe the younger me, maybe the person that I'm becoming. And it's gonna be very raw, very reflective, and heartfelt. And I hope when you hear it, maybe you too, by episode 9, to have a letter to yourself, whether it's your past self or your future self. So this season is going to be about truth and letting go, opening up, and reclaiming your voice. We're going to talk about grief. We're going to talk about healing. We're going to talk about worth and even desire. We're going to unpack it all right here. If you stay with me, I promise to keep it real. I promise to keep it human, and to leave you with something that I hope sticks. Not because I have all the answers, but because maybe, just maybe, we can clarify a few questions. So before I go, I just want to thank every viewer, every listener. You didn't have to be here, but you showed up. And that means a lot to me. It means a lot that you came, and it means a lot that you showed up. This space is more than a podcast. It's a safe landing, a soft landing, a little room covered out in truth, some emotions, and maybe even a few hard conversations that we've been avoiding. So I'm not here as an expert. I'm here as a woman unlearning and healing out loud. And I hope that something that I say can help you do the same. We're not here to fix ourselves. We're here to feel. We're here to release. We're here to release what no longer fits us. We're here for that version that we're trying to become. We're here to listen to each other. And not just listen and let it go through one ear and not the other, but truly listen. And listen to our bodies. That's going to be the key part. Those things that we don't say, those things that we hold, that's what we're here for. And that's what this season is all about. Naming the things that we thought we had to carry. And to know that we don't have to carry them alone. It is important to give ourselves grace. And we're going to give ourselves a lot of grace. We're going to give ourselves permission to have grace. So before I go, I just want to thank every viewer, every listener, and thank you for pressing play and for trusting me with your ear and your heart and your time. So here's to the beginning, to the first note, to the deep breath before the truth, to all the stories that we're going to be brave enough to tell, and to the parts of ourselves that we finally ready to hold with love. This has been Lady Blue on Blue Notes and Body Talk. Until we meet again, we're going to be right here, same place next week. Same vibes, deeper waters.